Thank you so much for joining my Cancers. This is your twin flame journey deep dive. This is your longer video to get further into what's going on in your connection. We will be diving into your feelings, the actions, the thought space, the heart space of your person, and a lot more about what's going on between you and your person. So if you are a Cancer Divine Masculine, welcome. If you're a Cancer Divine Feminine, welcome. We are primarily reading at this juncture for twin flame journeys, or the soul twin journeys, as I call them. But if you are in a soulmate or soul tribe connection, this can also resonate for you, because this reading is for all high vibing soul connections. It's just that I will be reading for the feminine and masculine separately, because this is how it occurs in their journey in real life. So let's go ahead and dive into it. We're going to see what kind of energy we get for our third energy. I like to start with the third energy because this is the energy that is created between the masculine and feminine. And it's the energy when they come together, and they first come together, is sparked and grows throughout the journey as they separate and come together, separate, come together. And it's the energy that helps lift the collective as a whole. One of the primary reasons for this is because that third energy is created. So one of the primary reasons for the soul twin connection is because of the third energy. So let's go ahead and see what's going on there. All right, so we do get Justice and Lovers. So this is all about, we do see justice in the divine feminines in the current energy. And if you didn't see the short, go back and watch that, please. This is all about love and making choices in love over fear. Saying yes to true love, replacing those broken templates. On earth, we have so many broken templates. Rewiring the mind for love, not fear. And having a sense of justice and fairness around that within the connection and externally. And so a certain sense of fairness in the world around what true love is and what that means. Because so many examples around us are brokenness, wounded, controlling, blocking, and not helpful energy at all. And it's not energy that is true love energy. And so this energy is all about reminding the world what true love energy really is, and having justice for that in the world, instead of being looked at as, oh, something must be wrong with you because you're not like us and broken. So this is a beautiful third energy, and I can see the justice is coming from the feminine. And the masculine is bringing in that temperance. Right now he's very moody, but in time his mood will shift and he will become balanced. And as that happens, he brings a sense of being able to choose true love and be able to help that foundation here on earth. So that's a beautiful third energy. Let's go ahead and dive into our question. So why do we have the above energy? Why are we fighting and moody with the masculines? The masculine energy is very moody. And so why do we have that? And why do we have the above energy for the divine feminine? So remember, if you're a soulmate or a soul tribe, this is your own energy. But if you are a soul, twin or a twin flame, this is your divine masculine and this is your divine feminine. Okay. And so if you're a cross watcher, spying in on your Cancer, you can look to see also what's happening. So in the divine masculine energy, there's a sense of movement being stalled, and you're not able to move forward, maybe in life, but also in this connection. And the reason you're not able to move forward is because you are out of balance and you're moody. And that energy translates, whatever you have going on internally translates externally. And so because you have all of this imbalanced, moody energy, it's reflecting in your external world, in competitions, in karmic baggage, karmic behaviors, in fighting, conflicts. And so if this is manifesting in your life, what it's doing is it's stalling the union with your divine feminine. And you want more than anything to be with that divine feminine energy because it is your own energy. And so it's pushing you to resolve the internal imbalance so that you don't manifest conflicts. Therefore, you can move forward with your divine feminine. So you're being taught that in order to move forward, you need to resolve issues with inside yourself. And the divine feminine is learning all about how letting go of things that don't serve her and moving forward will serve her. And so you can see her letting go of this baggage. She's been carrying a lot of weight, feeling like things aren't fair probably. But in the next 30 days, she's putting that burden down. And she's saying, I've had enough of carrying this load on my own and all the unfairness. And I want fairness now. She's generating an energy inside of desiring fairness. And so that is coming to her. And we see here that she is saying goodbye to all those things that are holding her down, that are not emotionally serving her. So she's learning that when she generates internal energy of, hey, I'm not putting up with this nonsense anymore, and I am going to draw fairness to me, that's what comes to her. And she's able to move forward in life. And so that is the lesson that each side is learning over the next 30 days. So what are some lessons this month that will be building upon that? And then we'll dive into our heart and mind and fears and hopes and what each side is keeping hidden from the other. So we do have truth and clarity in the dark. So the masculine is learning that if he can't be honest with himself, if he can't be clear with others, it's because he's not clear with himself. If he's not honest with others, it's because he's not honest with himself. And when he does this, he creates imbalance inside of himself. And so in order to have a sense of balance within yourself, you have to be honest and clear within your own mind and heart. And so the masculine is going through lessons in the next 30 days that are teaching him this so that he can show up better in the external world. So the divine feminine in the next 30 days is learning all about how to fill her emotional cup, how to be emotionally vulnerable, show up for herself emotionally, and to be emotionally present for herself as well as others, and to be emotionally supportive, and to have the strength to do that. But in order to have the strength to do that, you have to walk away from the things that aren't serving you. Otherwise, your energy is drained and you're carrying a bag of sticks. So your lessons for the next 30 days is all about putting that stick bag down, finding the fairness that you're drawing within yourself. And by doing that, you're walking away from the things that don't serve. Your energy is now becoming really light and you're able to serve yourself and be there for yourself and be emotionally fulfilled within yourself. This is allowing you to be emotionally present and supportive for others. So the lessons she's learning over the next 30 days has everything to do with that. So let's go ahead and dive into our private spaces, our mind, our heart, and all of that. So let's go ahead and get our mind space. What is on the mind of our divine masculine? What is our divine masculine thinking about? So he's thinking about how he just wants to surrender to the feminine. He just wants the process to happen so that he can be with her. There's a lot of blockage in the energy where he can't move forward, and he can't move forward because he's imbalanced, and he really needs to look at his own heart and mind and be honest there, because in his mind he really just wants to be with the feminine. He's really thinking about how nice it would be to just relax with her and be in that space and to not have these conflicts, to not have all these problems, and to just be at peace. He's really just loving the idea of being at peace with his feminine. What is on the mind of our feminine? We do get the 10 of Cups inversed. So in her mind, she's heavily thinking about the emotional space and how things have not been really good, satisfying to her emotionally. And so she's coming out of a place where she's letting go of all of this and she's moving forward. And she's moving into a healthy emotional energy. But in her mind, she is thinking about all of those negative or shadowy spaces of the emotional part of her and how things haven't been showing up for her, how things haven't been fulfilling her. You know, and she might be wondering, and worrying, like, am I ever going to be able to be with my masculine? Am I ever going to be able to be emotionally satisfied? Is he ever going to be able to bring those, you know, cups of love to me? And so the encouragement here would be to focus on what you want. So when we think about the things that we don't want, we're actually inversing the energy. We're thinking about what we don't want, so what we don't want energy is coming back to us. So the encouragement would be to focus on what you do want instead of the past, instead of the mistakes, instead of the things that aren't going wrong and things like this. Let's take a look at our heart spaces. What is our divine masculine in his heart space? He's got the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is in reverse though. So in his heart space right now, he is trying to make sense of the connection. So in the upright, this is all about traditional commitments, but in the reverse, it's about the untraditional. It's about new paradigms, a new shift of mind, a new way of thinking or feeling about something. Since this is in his heart, this is about feeling that this connection breaks all tradition. This connection breaks all paradigms. This isn't anything he's necessarily seen before. Maybe there's not many examples of it. And in his heart space, he knows that this is something really special and unique. Let's see what the feminine has in her heart space. All right, Victory. She has a strong sense of this connection being between her and you, her and God, between a private ceremony between you two, and something that feels victorious, something that you guys can do, you guys can overcome, and you guys can be together. She has a really warm, victorious feeling in her heart about the connection and about its possibilities. So let's go ahead and look at our next space. We do get fears. So what we do see in the fear space is our Seven of Cups. So we have the Seven of Cups in the inverse. When it's upright, it means that the energy is undecided. It's FOMO, like fear of too many options. But in the reverse, it has to do with having a decision made, knowing what you want. And so the fear is, the masculine is fearing that maybe he doesn't know what he wants. He's fearing that maybe, is this really, do I have everything right? Am I right in viewing this? So he might be double thinking himself. He might be wondering, you know, because these connections can be very intense, and they can also bring up a lot of things on the spiritual side where you're feeling like you're not really sure what's happening, or is this really happening? And so he might have a fear of what is fantasy, what is illusion, what is true, what is deception. His fear is that, is this true? Is this for real? You know, that's coming up in his fear space. Like, is this what I think it is, or is this not? Is this an illusion? So the fear in the feminine space, yeah, it's all about that commitment. You know, she's fearing perhaps the beginnings of the commitment, how it might go down, if the seeds will ever be planted, if the masculine will ever make his move. If that opportunity, she's just going to be staring at it indefinitely and nothing will ever occur. She's fearing that the seeds of commitment won't take place in the next 30 days. The hope space. So what we have in our hope space for our, I'm just making sure that these are right here. So, okay, so in the hope space, we have our Nine of Swords. And in our Nine of Swords, this is all about anxiety and stress, but this is in the reverse. So the hope is that, you know, the masculine doesn't want to worry. The masculine doesn't want to be stressed out. And so maybe the masculine does have a lot of worry and stress, or did in the past, and he's hoping that this will go away because he doesn't want to be stressed. But he's creating this stress for himself because he needs to be honest and clear with his own emotions and mind so that he can balance himself. Because when he balances himself, he will manifest that in his reality. So let's go ahead and look at our feminine. What is in her hope space? So she does hope for a new beginning. If you guys are in separation, she does hope that this will come back together and you guys will be in union or united again. If you guys are together currently, this is a hope for a new chapter, like putting behind the struggle that you guys were going through behind you and moving forward in fresh new energy. You know, it's taking a leap of faith. So it's like, hey, I'm hoping that my masculine and or myself can take a leap of faith that's needed so that we can merge together and have a beautiful adventure together and just do this connection in a new way. So let's go ahead and see what we've got for our hidden from you. So the masculine is hiding action from his female. So the masculine is preparing to take action. He's preparing to make a move and or communicate with his feminine, but he's hiding that currently. He doesn't want her to know that or be aware of that just yet. And so this is over the next 30 days. So for some of you, it could be happening earlier. For some of you, it's later. Let's see what the feminine is hiding. All right, so she's hiding that she feels a really good sense of commitment in this connection with her masculine. She feels like the two of you will be able to have abundance and the two of you will be able to prosper and you will have so much prosperity between the two of you, whether it's financial or emotional abundance. And she feels like this can be something that the two of you will be able to draw a lot of nourishment from. And she's really excited about this connection, about the union, about the commitment, but she's hiding that from you. So let's go ahead and dive into what is in the way of the connection. So we do get the Four of Pentacles. This is on the masculine side. So a lot of times this has to do with the masculine being too possessive or jealousy or controlling, but it can also just have to do with feeling like you don't have enough or you don't have enough to give, or feeling a sense of, you know, that you have to hold on too tightly to your feminine or to the things around you because you're afraid. So it's at its core, it's fear. So what's in the way of the connection is fear. And so the masculine really has to dive deep into his heart and his mind and try to rewire and transmute the negative energies into more positive energies so that he's not manifesting conflict, and so that he can feel more balanced inside. And when he does that, fear releases. What is in the way of the feminine's side of the energy? All right, we do get the 10 of Pentacles. So what the feminine is focused on in the way of the connection has to do with commitments itself. So she might be focusing too much on commitment. She might be focusing too much on wanting to be together right now, if now is not the time. Because we do have commitment energy showing up in what's hidden from you. That's what she really wants. We have it that's in the way of the connection. She wants a new chapter, a new beginning. That's her hope. And her fear is around commitments too. So she has a lot of energy around commitment. So she might be trying to push something forward too quickly that isn't ready yet, or she might just be too focused on the commitment itself. Of course, if you're already in commitment, this has to do with the next level, you know, like you're in relationship, but moving in together. You're moving in together, but marriage. You're married, but children. So it can also have to do with the next step. But for most of you, because this is a twin flame connection, you guys are in separation. Or you guys are fighting, because what happens in these connections is it goes out and then it goes back in. It goes separation, union, and this is the healing process. And so the feminine might want to be jumping steps to get to the end already, to get to commitment already. And so she's going to have to be patient because you can't rush things when it's not the right time. So he's generating fear and imbalance right now. And so he's not ready for commitment yet. And so it's because she's focusing on that, that's creating a clash. So let's see what we have for actions. Do we have any actions coming in the next 30 days from our masculines? Actions coming for our feminine. All right, So the masculine is thinking about investing. This is a waiting card though. You know, there's some procrastinating. Sometimes there's not as much effort being put forward. And I know it frustrates the feminine. I know it frustrates me when our masculines are like this. And take gender as it resonates. So the Seven of Pentacles though is all about investing. So the masculines are wanting to take an action in investing, but this isn't quite investing yet. So it's more like thinking about it, trying to figure it out if it's the right time or not. In the feminine's energy, we do get the King of Pentacles, again, a strong energy of commitment. So her future action is all about solidifying this commitment. But we do see that that's also in the way of the connection. And so even though that's what she wants, and it very, very well will be beautiful when it's the right time, she's very open to the next chapter in it. And she is hoping for that next chapter as well. And she's fearing that, you know, it might not happen. But I do see a lot of energy on her side, you know, in the fears, in what's hidden, in what's interfering with the connection. And the actions of what she's taking are all about making this commitment happen. So she is going to try to make it happen. The two of you will have to fill it out and see if it's the right time for you. I do see that there are fears and imbalance. This is on the masculine side. And I do see that he is busy thinking about it, but he might not be quite ready. So let's go ahead and look at our future energies. And so let's go ahead and look at these. We do have the Knight of Swords, which is the masculine might not be communicating with you, feminine, the way that you want. There may be blocking, there may be spotty communications. He may just not reply to your text. It doesn't look like he's ready. There is, you know, moodiness and fear and thinking about it. And he has strong feelings for you. I can see he sees this connection, you know, in a really strong way. It's untraditional. He can see that and he feels that and he wants to surrender to it. But he has stress and fear and imbalance that he's working through. He is going to take action. I'm not sure exactly what kind of action that might be. It'll vary for each of you. He's going to try to take action or try to take a communication with you. But it might be followed up by a lack of communication or a blockage of some kind, or being blocked, or ignoring or avoiding what he just put on the table. And so while you're focused on commitments, it might not be exactly the right time for him. I do see on the feminine side that she's all about staying positive and focused on the love, the joy, focused on really just saying her truth. You know, this is all about just putting it down with how she sees it, being honest, and being forthright. You know, she doesn't want to keep anything from you. She's like, I want commitments and this is what I want out of it, bam. But it might not be the right time for him. So just a heads up for that. Let's go ahead and look at the numbers to give us a bit more information. We do get Justice, which is an 11, and we do get our Knight of Swords, which is a 12. So this is 3, this is 2, so this is a 5. Yeah, it does not surprise me at all that our masculine has an energetic value of 5, because this is all about obstacles, conflicts, tensions, and needing to overcome those devil energies, needing to overcome all of that conflict energy and obstacles that are in your way. And that's exactly what we see in your current energy. So your energy is all about changes, internal changes you're going through, transmuting of energy. So for the Divine Feminine, we do get a 6, and we do get a, let's see, this is a 19, and that's a 10. So that's going to be 7 altogether. So 7s are a lot about reflecting on things, reevaluating things, and resting. Like, you want commitment, but you need to reflect, reevaluate, and rest. Like God rested on the 7th day. That's the advice when you see a 7. It's about resting and looking over things, looking over everything you guys have built. And because this is going to allow you to process your energy while your masculine is getting ready. because you might want to, you know, move forward when it's not ready. So this is what we have. Let's go ahead and see if we can get some direct messages from our masculine and feminine. And then we'll draw an oracle card of advice. All right, so you couldn't see me shuffling, that was off camera. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and draw for direct messages for the masculine to the feminine and feminine to the masculine. Remember, you can flip energy if you need to. So the masculine to the feminine, you are the only one that makes me feel this way. So this is a message he might not be telling you, but something that's on his heart and mind. The feminine, I miss our deep conversations and your nurturing energy. So this is something the feminine is wanting to say to you. Let's go ahead and draw for, let me put this back first, and then we will draw for our oracle advice. You know, I love our animal advice, our angel advice, and oracle. Those are my favorite. So let's go ahead and see what we get for our oracle advice. And if you watch the general love reads during the week, you will get the animal advice card. And of course, if you are, where should we put this? All right, I'll put it right there. Okay, so this is dance with life, do something to change your energy. So the oracle advice is all about changing up your energy. If you feel like you're in stalemate, if you feel like you're in a position where too much conflict's coming up, you're not really sure how to tap into your heart, your emotion, your mind, you're not really sure how to rewire those things, dance. Do something to change your energy. Go out and do something different. Feminines, the same advice for you, okay? Let's go ahead and see if we can see anything else with our numbers. Sometimes interesting things pop up. You might be seeing dancing couples or a lot of dancing going on, maybe in the newspapers, magazines, TVs, and that means that this is for you. We have 9, 10. Of course, our Fool is 0, 11, 6. All right, we do get 2 10s. All right, so you could be seeing 10, 10, 10 feminines. You might want to look up what 10, 10 means in twin flame connections. You might be seeing 10, 10 in the next 30 days. We also get an 8, 1, yeah, interesting. Okay, 12, 5. Yeah, you also get another 5 here. 7, 9, 8, 4, 7. So you get 2 7s over here. So you might be seeing 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 5, 5. You also got another 5. So 7s and 5s. Significant for the masculine. 7, 7, 7. Or 5, 5. But for the feminine, it's all about her 10s. So take the energy as it resonates for you, and feel free to look up 5, 5, 5 and 10, 10 and find out a little bit more about what that number means for twin flame connections. Thank you for joining. It was such a pleasure having you here, and I will see you in the next 30 days. Remember to, gotta check this button. Remember to visit us at the You versus Them. The link will be below, and this will go in depth with your person's feelings, thoughts, actions, and what they want. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. It helps our channel grow. We are growing rapidly, but we're still brand new, so help us grow. And comment, please. What do you like? What would you like to see more of? How is your relationship going? I want to know how your relationships are and tap into your energy, okay? Take care. Blessings. See you in the next 30.